All right. Michael, how
Well,
you doing,
all
my brother?
right. Doing all right. How are
We
you?
finally got you in here, man.
I know.
It was a mission. We were planning this for a while. How long do you think?
A few months, but
Yeah.
timing is everything, right? Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the right timing.
Well, I think you're the first MMA fighter that I have on the episode.
Really?
Yeah, we had an MMA. We had Fighters Delight on that he documents MMA fighters
Okay.
and does those type of projects. But you're the first MMA fighter that's pursuing that professionally, I guess.
Yeah. At some point, I'd like to continue to be on my journey, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
This is a lot. Yeah, and I'm still in my amateur series, but
Right.
little by little, I'm gonna find my way to a pro
Yeah.
series at
Of course,
some point.
it's a step. It's a process.
Yeah, it's definitely probably the most intense, hardest process I've ever been through in my life. And I've been through some really tough stuff in my life,
All right. So let's get into that, but let's start from the beginning. So how did you get into martial arts, so to speak?
It's really no coincidence. As a kid, I was always getting into little fights here and there in school. I mean, maybe my third week into school, I got into a fight, high school,
Okay.
and I got suspended. So it's
Your third week into school?
Yeah, I think it was like maybe even the second week. So my mom wasn't very, happy. But
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine.
right. So it wasn't no coincidence that little by little I ended up at a boxing gym in Hialeah at one point, and I would go from my job to there. I would take the bus, and
In high school?
In high school, yeah. Well, yeah, it was a little bit of high school and then a little bit out afterwards when I finally like kind of dropped out, yada yada yada. But we'll go down that at some point.
Okay.
The guy that owned the gym was Jose Martinez, I think. And I think he was the mayor of Hialeah at one point back in like the 2000s.
Oh, mayor of Hialeah?
Maybe, or something like that. Or
Cool.
he played a very high political figure in the city and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
So I went there. It didn't last long, but I remember being really good at it, man. Like I remember like them putting me against a pro guy, and I was able to like touch him here and there. I mean, he got obviously the best of me, but
Right.
in the like month that I was there, I learned so much. I took a little break out of it after a while, and actually I didn't do anything into it till maybe 2014.
Okay.
This was maybe 2001.
Okay.
No, like 2003, 2004. Sorry. So that was a long time to ever do anything ever again.
Right. That's like 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I wasn't really going down the right path. I was doing a lot of weird stuff and just coasting through life.
Right. With no real like direction, you would say, right?
Whatsoever, or guidance. Really,
Oh, okay. That's important.
Whatsoever. Like I remember even prior to like me getting into a gym, I was practically, what can I say, like doing drugs, drinking,
Right.
just not down the right path. And I was going to go down the worst path ever.
Right.
I got jumped in Overtown one time for my bike. Had a bunch of money in my pocket, but they didn't really go through my pocket or even steal a duffel bag I had on me, which was weird.
Right. They just wanted the bike. They needed to get somewhere, dude.
Yeah, no, that or they would have just sold it right down the street, which
right.
I know was the plan. So whatever. I left with my life, and which was grateful.
Right.
And I think from there on, man, I didn't want to ever be in that position of not knowing how to like defend myself, because all I remember was telling them like, yo, just take the bike.
Right.
They waited for me to get out of these buildings, which I was staying at my uncle's house. May he rest in peace.
Okay. Sorry to hear
He died of drugs and stuff like that, like shortly after that.
Sorry to hear that.
So I was able to at least hang out with my uncle for a few months, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I hung out with him. He wasn't the best, obviously, guide,
right?
But I would just go from him to my aunt's house, which was right across the street. And even just maybe 100 yards from each other, I got jumped, and they waited for me to leave the buildings. And I remember like somebody saying, "Get him!" And I had a duffel bag, so I was trying to pedal as fast as possible. They pushed me, so I fell off. They they grabbed the bike, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't think we were gonna catch you?" So they, they obviously have been planning this.
Right. They were like kind of watching you.
For sure.
Yeah.
They were waiting for me to leave that building. And so I left from there, went to my aunt's, told them what happened. They didn't really have anything to say because it's just a normal thing that happens.
Right.
And so I was able to get on the bus, or the train rather, and I went to Broward, and I was staying with somebody I was just with at the time.
Yeah.
And things weren't working out for about a year. And let's say from 13 to 14, I finally found it.
2013 to 2014?
Right. I was working. I always found the benefit of having a job in your life. Earning some
yeah,
kind
dude,
of income.
that's huge, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I was at least I had like maybe the confidence, charisma, and the charm to at least get a job.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. I was selling like insurance.
Good job.
I met this kid named Chris Hernandez, Reggie Newsom, and actually it was just them two. They were working together. And when they hear this, they'll hopefully smile, and I'll bring some light to their lives as well. And Chris kept telling me, hey, I have a gym here, that I'm part of. Why don't you come check it out? And I was like, whatever. I was kind of against it, whatever. And went there one day, and I just enjoyed the grappling, this, that, and the third. Prior to that happening,
it was a jiu-jitsu gym, or was
yeah,
it like
it was an MMA
gym?
Magnus Virgin was the owner of it, and he was this Swedish guy who had a really long history of like Swedish kickboxing, like everything.
Okay.
Everything. He's awesome. He had a few amateur fighters under his belt, and that's who they stayed with him at the gym, and which was really cool.
Yeah.
I never saw that type of like lifestyle. I didn't think that was even a possibility.
Right. And like a stable.
Yeah, exactly. For fighters.
Right.
Reggie Newsom was this ex-military who's like 185, 200, jacked. He was cool. And he had a temper, right? Like all of us do, which ultimately led to the demise of me leaving the gym. We'll go down that route at some point. Right?
Okay.
It's crazy. I'll get to all of it. It'll be fun. So, I got into an issue with the person that I was staying with, and I didn't feel safe being there anymore. So I had called up Reggie one day. I was like, yo, I'm either going to go to jail, dog, or I'm going to end up dead. Can you please get me out of here? He said, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Pack your stuff. I'll see you downstairs. Right. 5 minutes later, he pulls up with some kind of car. I get my bags in the car while I'm still arguing with these people that are like, whatever.
Yeah, who you're staying with.
Right. And I got out of there. We head over to the gym. Head over to the gym. Sits me down with Magnus and says, I guess he tells him my issue, and Magnus ends up asking them like, we need a vote. Like, do you think he's worth staying here? And
they held a vote?
Yeah.
That's
they
my way
ultimately said yes.
Yeah.
From one day to the next, I ended up training, living on a mat. I bought an air mattress, had my bags. Next day, I'm waking up at 6:30 a.m. and we're training.
Wow, that's interesting. So was the genesis of you starting to train really just to get out of a bad situation, or was it the kind of the interest in the sport?
Maybe both.
It was both?
Yeah, because I knew I didn't want to end up like, I've got what I like to call like poison in my blood.
Yeah.
I come from like a background of like kind of like addiction and stuff like that.
Right.
So I know where it can ultimately lead me if I don't
change your path.
Yeah, or if I don't just change my way of thinking. I'm like, either I go this way and I end up like my uncles, unfortunately, which doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Or you can end up, a world-class citizen who has something to offer to the world, right?
Right.
Little by little, it's funny how like social media can play a part into who you can end up becoming, right?
Right.
Because ultimately, I just want to live this life and be a good human, right? And I think that's what it seems like the world is trying to preach.
Right.
Is that it is what we need is good people, right? So that's ultimately what I want to be, is a good human being for the rest of the time that we have on this planet, man.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 6:30 a.m. I'm waking up with Chris Tobias. He's already won a few belts, but he's still in his amateur series. Chris Tobias was, I call him Tobias because that was a little joke that they would call him during his call outs. Chris Tobias. I'm like, that's your name now. It's Tobias.
Okay.
He has a beautiful family now. I've seen him grow up. He's seen me grow up. We've been friends since the first day I was there. And he supported me on this journey of continuing and not giving up.
Yeah.
I would wake up, we'd go to the run. We'd go run, hit the hills, spend about 4 hours just training, get some rest, go across the street to where it was a pool. It was like a guest pool house.
Okay.
And we would jump the fence to get a shower in. And that's where we would get our showers. Because the place that we were at,
the gym?
Yeah. Didn't have a shower.
Okay.
So we did what we had to do.
That's smart, man. How did you guys even know there was a shower in there?
Chris did that. That was all Chris. I just followed his footsteps. Little by little, I just followed like his path of doing things and being resilient. I remember Magnus, whenever we would go sparring, he'd be like, you should be able to keep up with Chris.
Right.
You should be able to keep up with Chris. May I drink?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So you just followed his footsteps in order to, I guess, find a path in life. What at that point were you, because right now you just said that you want to be a good human being and you want to leave, I guess, a positive footprint on this earth, and you're doing it through martial arts. But at that point in your life, were you thinking that that's where you wanted to go, or were you just looking for something that was a positive influence in you? Positive
influence in me, something that I knew was going to lead me down a good. I kind of wanted to be like Chris. I kind of wanted to be like Reggie.
Yeah,
they were jacked. I was always the skinny kid of the group, much smaller than everybody else, maybe more weaker. But MMA helped me become so confident
Yeah.
and feeling good about myself. You know what I'm saying? Not just that, I'm able to protect myself at the end of the day, or anybody I love.
Right.
Diffuse the situation. You know, so
I mean, that's great, dude. That you had that. I guess that there's that silver lining of you having to leave the spot that you were staying at really changed the course of your life into this positive place that you are now. When it comes to
Absolutely.
training, it comes to MMA, comes to where you're at right now with your career, and it all started from that, you know, negative space, but now it completely changed where you're at.
Absolutely. No, it has. It's also it's had its good and bad, which is something I never thought I'd anticipate. It's come with the journey of being, you know, being part of the sport. I think maybe only 2% can continue the sport or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
3.
I think it's like after the first fight, like 80% or 70%, don't quote me on this, stop fighting.
It seems about right. You know,
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's tough on the brain. It's tough on the body.
Yeah.
Um,
How was that like first fight experience for you?
I fought Austin Rankin in the AFC championship. Like that was just the name of it, Amateur Fight Club or something like that, out of Newport Richie. He was more of like a wrestler guy. He ultimately got the win, but I had a bunch of transitions. But getting in there was so much fun. Like it was so.
Oh, so you were having fun. You weren't like nervous.
No, I mean, you can see the nervousness in the video. You can see it, and I was like, "Damn, I must have been nervous."
Right,
Even like
right.
the post interview, like I said, like you know,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
he's asking
You're
me
also
questions.
just out of a fight. You're fresh out of a fight.
That, and it's just that was the first time being a part of something so incredibly like just it's insane.
Yeah.
The fights itself, when you're there, like the adrenaline rush that I tell like my wife and stuff like that, when she went to my first fight, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're gonna get nervous.
And
You're
leading
gonna
up to it's got to be crazy.
it's the jitters. You feel funny. You get your hands get all clammy,
Yeah.
but you can't show that at times, you know. So you gotta like warm up, keep moving, do your thing,
Yeah.
zone out, zone in. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and then ultimately once that bell goes off, everything should go the way it's planned to go.
Right. Right. Right.
And it's been rough. I've lost more than I've won, but I'm trying to see the
Yeah, but
positive.
you're in the amateurs, right? You're going into pro, right?
And I'm trying to see that positive in losing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it
you
makes
know?
perfect sense. I mean, if you're taking your losses just as losses and you're not trying to learn anything from them, then they turn into a negative, right? But if you're
Agreed.
seeing and you're trying to learn from the losses and trying to get better, you know, that's ultimately what you want to do. You'll learn more from those,
Yeah.
right? And at the same time, you're going to become pro and become a professional. And I think that the amateurs is for that, for you to understand. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I would assume that the amateurs is for to lay a foundation of what you want to expose in
Should
the
be
pro level.
Your
right?
base, yes.
Right, right.
Get as many fights in. Get as many.
Right.
You know, it doesn't matter who you fight. I've also seen that's also played like I wouldn't say like a negative or positive role. It's just played a certain role in fights. Sometimes I feel like they're just setting people up just to lose, which kind of sucks. I see that a lot.
Yeah,
in the
kind of like feeding
amateurs.
fighters.
Feeding, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Why are you feeding me a fighter that just got out of a 4 streak winning knockout?
Yeah,
I'm just the 5th. I get it. I'll
right.
do it, whatever. But it just doesn't seem like the proper way of like helping people succeed the right way.
Right. Are you saying that the like promotions kind of do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the promotions that I've been a part of, and I feel that in the engagement of me and the promoter trying to get me into a fight.
Oh, you feel like they're trying
It's
to
just kind of
bamboozle you.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
I fight on my terms, not yours. You get what I'm saying? Or
Right.
my coaches. When my coaches say I'm ready to fight, they'll tell them, hey, it's time.
Yeah, it's important also that those coaches have those relationships with you, that they're like you have good coaches that they're able to kind of steer you, like, this is a good fight, this is not such a good fight right now, and kind of put you in where you want to. But I gotta assume that you have that dog in you that you'll take any fight.
Agreed, and I will.
So
I have.
how do you balance that?
I have. I've had people drop out of fights, and I get fed a really good guy, which is that's the odds. Let's go. Whether
Yeah.
I win or lose, I'm going to go in there and give what I got. You're right.
Right.
I think there's definitely a difference from somebody who's going to get hit and kind of like back out versus somebody who's going to get hit and be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
This is what I'm here for. I'm a dog. You get what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
That's definitely.
So how did you get from jumping into a pool house, it's a shower, to where you're at now? Like, how did that road look like?
So little by little, I kind of transitioned from Coral Springs MMA, which was CS MMA with Chris Toby's and them, to Tampa. I went to Tigers World Tampa,
Yeah.
which was obviously in Tampa World. You might
So
know,
you were up in Tampa.
I moved up to Tampa because I had a small altercation with somebody. I just need to kind of leave the situation, so that it was probably in best interest.
Smart
right?
move, yeah.
Right. And so that ultimately led me into a good place as well, because I met Chris Big Boy Jensen, Hawaii Ferguson. Well, his name is Mikel Hawaii Ferguson. They're all part of the BKF series right now,
Oh, okay.
which are really cool.
Yeah.
They were
That's
like
bare knuckle
fighting championship. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're part of like the prospects part, where they get the up and coming people in.
Oh, that's cool.
Get them into the door type deal. And maybe one day I'll get down that road if for sure. I mean, maybe one or two. We're part of the combat sports, man. Where anything goes. Like, we're modern day gladiators, bro.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it feels good doing that.
Honestly, first of all, I would never do MMA because I don't think I have the mind or like to step in the ring and punch somebody in the face or get punched in the face. I don't have that in me. You know what I mean?
I get that.
But taking a step, for me, it's like taking a step further when it's bare knuckle.
Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely down that road of
Is it the challenge that attracts you?
It's the challenge, man. It's the fact that, like, yo, nobody else wants to do that. I'm the only one in the room who's done this.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two other people, and they're probably on the low.
Yeah.
I love being in a restaurant knowing, like, and I'll tell my wife, like, yo, I can kill that guy.
It's probably somebody that's talking a lot of shit.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, you see that guy? Like, he probably doesn't fight, baby. And he's just talking.
He's talking so much shit.
And it's crazy that people do that. Like,
insane,
you should not
dude.
be doing that. Like, some guy flicked me off the other day. It got really hot. I'm like, I just sat there for a second. I was just like thinking, like, the worst case scenario. He was in his car. He didn't get out. But he was really adamant about being so angry. I'm like, damn, like, that just sucks to not be able to defend yourself and put yourself in that position.
Yeah, dude. That's got to be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not a
they're just yelling at you and they have no idea. Well, either of us know, like, you don't know, but what's the probability of that guy knowing how to exchange?
Slim to none.
Very, very small. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't, it's going to be a scrap.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a scrap.
Yeah.
I'll make it one. I'll make it a good scrap.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I'll make it a good scrap. That's for sure. But this journey of MMA has
So you were up in Tampa?
Yeah, it's played its good and it's bad on me, man. But I'm here for the journey.
Yeah,
it's been great. So with Chris and Big Boy, they were more very nitty gritty. Like, you got to get in there. Like, don't be afraid to get in there. I got my first major injury there, where I got an orbital fracture from a knee right to the eye from Mikel, and I fought through it. That's when I think I realized, like, yo, I might be good at this shit. I might be. Let's do this.
Dude, that's crazy.
I fought through it. I had a huge. This thing was just blown up. They were like, stop, and I was fighting through it. Like, it's just in me. I don't stop until I'm dying or dead.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I went to the bathroom and it was just closed shut. I looked at myself like, yo, this is crazy.
Put an eye patch on it.
No, this is crazy. Nobody was bothering me. I was just like, I'm looking at it. I had never seen anything like that on me. You know, I never seen myself so injured.
Right.
And
I get scared of some people too. Like, if you have like a really bad injury like that, like an orbital fracture, and you look yourself in the mirror, a lot of people will be like, fuck, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Yeah, it can. I've had a few other injuries. I have a pretty gnarly one here. I caught an elbow in the same gym. And I never wanted to stop.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy.
No, I don't think it's crazy. When things I've been around martial artists, so like I understand not that I'm a part of it, you know what I mean? But I can understand the motivation behind it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Tigers World Tampa, I meant to add, is part of Andre Berto's family's gym.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the Berto's family gym. It was Tigers World Tampa. Really cool. His younger brother owns that one.
Okay.
And that's where I spent a lot of my time. I was part of Fightrepreneur. I'll never forget. Fightrepreneur. That's his brand. And we lived in a house with a bunch of other guys. Yeah, I remember this. This was fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
It was, and I had a bunch of dogs too. We had a husky. We had a not a bloodhound, a basset hound.
Yeah.
The big droopy ears.
Yeah.
He was awesome, dude. It was such a great house to be part of. You know, you learned a lot about yourself. You learned a lot about the people you're living with ultimately. Yeah. And, it's part of the journey. So
you were living up in Tampa?
Yeah, because I had family up there.
Oh,
so it made it easy being up there.
How did you decide to come down to Miami?
My brother-in-law would like invite me to his vacation house in Kendall, right down here, not far from here. And that's where I was telling my wife, like, that was the serenity house for me, like, just to chill back, kick back and just chill.
Yeah.
then they prepared me for my first amateur fight, and it didn't go as as scheduled, but it was the beginning of many to come.
Right.
Came back home, got a job, continued to train. I remember taking in this area, I would walk or like take my penny board. I don't know if you guys know what a penny board is.
Penny board. He might know
Those
what
are-
a penny board is.
They're
I don't
small
know.
skateboards.
Is it
They're
like the long board?
No, so the longboard was longer. The penny boards were shorter, right? And they were quick. They
Oh, but they're like in the longboard formation, right? Kind of.
yeah,
like
for
it?
sure, for
They have
sure.
the big tires.
Yes.
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
okay.
And I would take it to Michael Cardoso School, which isn't far from
Dude,
here.
I started with him.
No way.
I got my blue belt from him.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's cool.
funny.
So he was an OG. He also
Yeah.
he did a lot of valet tudo. The guy's an OG.
Yeah, dude, he went
bro.
to ADCC.
Bro, the guy's an OG, double
Yeah.
OG, straight out the pen OG.
Yeah.
Like the guy used to fight in his valet tudo shorts and
Yeah.
bang people up. So I'm like, yo, I had no idea I was under this guy. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, he didn't think that. Well, at least when I was there, he wouldn't talk about those
No, he
accolades.
wouldn't at all.
At all.
You would never even think that. Because
You would
he
look
was
it up
also
and
a
then you'd be like,
ref.
what
He
the
was a
fuck?
ref. He's
Yeah.
a big ref in Dade and Broward, maybe even more.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to like. I had no idea.
Yeah.
He had a major affiliation with Ruben Alvarez, I believe, which is awesome. The community is so great, man.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere and you're like one time I ran into Toco. I don't
Toko?
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The BJJ black belt for a lot of these guys out here.
Yeah.
I don't even know him like that, but from Instagram and people talking about him, like I was like, "You're Toco," and he's like, "What's up, my friend?" I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy."
Super
So,
nice guys.
Yeah, very nice guys. So the community's great. Let me see. So I ended up back home working a job, and somehow I ended up
Back home, Tampa.
I ended up back home in Miami.
Okay.
Came down, got a little job at H&M. Prior to H&M, and I was kind of like, I wasn't training as hard as I was, but I was still in it, going to Cardoso's, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
This is where my BJJ thing started kicking out, maybe 2016, 2017, maybe 18. Because I ended up in California training under Gracie Baja, Riverside, and Corona.
Okay.
With Tom Rusing, Kendall Rusing, who were under
Oh yeah.
Carlos Gracie,
Yeah.
Jr. And AJ Polder ended up giving me my blue belt there. That's where I got my blue belt.
In California.
Was in California.
So
Yeah,
you moved
absolutely.
to California.
I ended up in California with a friend, and
Why did you decide to go to California?
with a friend. It was just some girl who ended up wanting me to go, and like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
I ended up quitting my job at H&M at Dolphin Mall.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I got an opportunity. I'm gonna take it.
Right.
I'm gonna move maybe 2,500 miles away, maybe more, and I just want this opportunity.
Right.
Not ended up the opportunity. I should have probably been in. It was horrible, guys.
But you got a blue belt out of it.
But dude, not even that. Like I got an experience. I moved up to Newark, California, and it was a change in everything. People, lifestyle, weather.
Yeah, dude. The weather's probably crazy over there.
Weather. It went from this humid tropical weather to like dry, breezy, cold in the mornings, cold at night.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Right.
You know? I got a job at a warehouse. I ended up getting into a fight on my way to that job.
First day?
No, maybe like the first 2 weeks, brother.
Dude, you can't. You're 2 weeks
Horrible.
high school.
Horrible.
You gotta like.
This is a curse, bro.
You have a 2 weeks curse. You can't.
You just don't take shit from people. That's
Yeah.
what it is. This is how we establish it before.
It's the beginning of like 2 weeks is an issue.
Horrible. So I remember walking to the warehouse, and it was like a rinky-dinky warehouse. You're just packaging plastic with a bunch of other people, but they were cool. They had stories, so you made friends, right?
Yeah.
But I would wake up early, and I would walk. I remember going with the partner that I was with one morning. It was like 6:30 in the morning. We're walking across the street. Some lady was letting me go. I didn't know. Maybe I didn't have the right of way. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But
Right.
the lady let me go. The guy behind her honks his horn so hard and yells out the window. She ultimately goes. He goes around like he didn't have enough time. He goes around. I yell something. I throw my water bottle at him. I threw my water bottle at his car. He pulls into the gas station. Somebody out of that gas station runs out of the gas station, runs into his car, and me and her are walking. I'm on the inside, she's on the outside. Or yeah, I'm on the inside, she's on the outside. And I realize it. I'm very aware of my surroundings. That's
Yeah.
one thing I don't know how I got that, but I'm very intuitive of everything.
Right.
People's reactions, their emotions, their the way they speak, if they're speaking too high or too low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm aware of everything. Nothing gets past me.
It's probably the way they grew up, man. Like,
Possibly.
yeah.
See him get into the car. I already know what's up. I already know the deal because I can tell, I can feel that anger between them two.
Yeah.
He might have pointed my way. So we're walking. We get into an open field and he comes out, he pulls up and he says something like, yo, what'd you say? I was like, yo, you're making a big deal because I'm trying to walk around. Like, I was trying my best to diffuse the situation. I see there's two males. I'm with a female.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get to work.
Right.
I got a book bag on. Just trying to get to
Don't
work.
carry bags anymore.
Yeah, something going on. So they get out of the truck and I open my back. I won't leave my back to the wall.
Yeah.
I open it up. I want to be able to move. I know the deal.
Right.
I know what's up. So they trying to come in. What's up? They're standing there, and I put my hand. I said, I promise you, one of y'all gonna go to the hospital bad. I promise you, it'll end up that way.
Right.
I drop my bag. They end up grabbing my bag. I had like maybe an ounce of trees, maybe some money. I think my boots in there for the warehouse.
Right.
They took it. I really wanted it. Probably wanted the fight, but I also wanted my bag.
Yeah.
You know
the
what I'm
bag
saying?
was kind of like
because they took off with my
the
bag.
direct object of what's going on.
It's the fact you take my bag. I wanted it back, and maybe the fight.
Yeah.
Because now you've instigated with me,
Now I
right?
got a
Because I
reason.
knew you guys weren't really about that. Because if not, you guys would have really gone about it instead of my bag. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I remember chasing them, going after them. Didn't end up getting my bag. Yada yada yada. Whatever.
Allegedly.
Ended up. No, I didn't get my bag. I didn't get my bag. Unfortunately, it sucks. But I did chase those guys a lot, and I tried my best to like correlate how I would catch them by the way they went. I'm a weirdo. Like, all right, they went this way, and if they have my bag, think about it, they're probably gonna drive around, maybe look for me.
Right.
That's how I am, a weirdo like that. And I call my job and say, hey, they end up firing me. I'm like, oh, unfortunately, we're gonna have to let you go, man. Like,
because of that, because something that
I
didn't
told them
happen at
straight
work.
up, I was like, damn, really? I just got into a fight. You
I
guys
was telling you I was gonna be late, bro.
Like, it was weird. It didn't really matter. I ended up at another job after that, so it's okay. That's in Newark.
And that's when you started doing jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, but I wasn't at a gym. I remember walking to a kickboxing gym.
Were you training MMA over there in California?
No. I was on a jiu-jitsu journey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it didn't really start until I got with Gracie Baja Riverside. And I met AJ Polder and Ben Kelly.
Okay.
Who was a purple belt at that time, and Ben was a brown belt. Ben was a purple belt, and AJ was a brown belt. And they changed my lives. I was always at Ben's house. He was awesome. He was this like nerd who had a kid, but he was ultimately a nerd. And
like most people that are really good at jiu-jitsu.
Bro, but he grew so much pot.
Yeah?
So much weed. I have a video in my thing of like a 9-foot.
Oh, but you can do that in California, right?
Dude, it was my first exposure. I was like, yo, this is gonna be my best friend. So we waited like maybe another 8 months or maybe less than that till the trees grew. And I remember getting a part of it. It was like the ultimate California experience.
Right.
It was great. And at the same time, we would learn jujitsu. So it's like, dude, great correlation. This is awesome, right?
Yeah.
I was living at a friend's house, and I would walk to Gracie Baja Riverside, and this is Guy.
Yeah.
This is Guy. And this is Guy. This is awesome. You know, like this was awesome. Like this is original Red Shield, Gracie Baja, Carlos Gracie lineage.
Yeah.
And so I learned it little by little. I remember AJ asking me, hey, "Do you want to learn how to teach classes?" And that was my first time teaching open guard, closed guard,
you taught
safety stand up kids.
Kids. They tell you how
kids led.
Yeah.
And also that helped me establish my game.
Right.
Because you're constantly playing it in your head.
Yeah. When somebody asks you a question, you have to like break it down yourself first in order to understand how to explain it. So that helps a lot for your own development.
Absolutely. So I was like, dude, this is a really neat experience, and I'm really enjoying the positivity in it, playing an important role to kids, because these kids picked it up like so quick.
Yeah, so you were
single leg,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Running the pipe real quick.
Yeah.
Teaching them, what was it? Backpack.
Oh yeah,
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, the backpack where you kind of like roll around and have to hold on to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, monkey backpack.
Stuff like that, and they loved it.
Yeah, those kids love that those type of games.
You get what I'm saying? And I can see how healthy it is for them.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I remember this one kid who was maybe 3 years old, Carlos, 3 years old. He picked it up so quick. And I'll never forget that little kid. He picked up the sport so quick, and he was so good at it. It just amazed me that it's something I want for my kids.
Yeah.
Si Dios quiere, you know, when that time comes.
That's good, man. And how did you, so you started doing jiu-jitsu over there in Gracie Barra. Did you, when you decided to come back, to Miami. How long were you in California?
Only a year.
Oh, so you were there you started the jiu-jitsu over there and then you moved over
in
here?
Newark, and then I moved down to Riverside.
Okay.
Inland Empire.
Wait, Riverside's not in California?
Riverside is in California, but it's in the Inland Empire. So the Inland Empire, so you have PCH, which is Pacific Coastline, right?
Right.
That's Santa Monica,
Right.
Laguna Beach, all the beachy stuff, right?
Yeah.
And San Diego, that's all the south. That's the beach side.
Right.
If you go inland, you got San Bernardino, you got Inland Empire, Matacumbe, what's that that movie? Next Friday. Cucamonga Ranches.
Oh yeah,
Cucamonga Ranches or something like that.
Cucamonga Ranches. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
You know which one it is?
Cucamonga,
yeah.
Cucamonga Ranches.
Something
like that.
Okay.
I was also in Rialto. There's a bunch of places out there, right? But that's tough living, man.
Yeah.
It's tough living. You got some slumlords out there, and that's how I was living out there, was with a
slumlord. Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, I ended up with another girl, like that's just coasting through life. And
right.
Her parents were living in some slumlord stuff. And I felt bad. I was like, damn, this is tough for them. Cucamonga.
Cucamonga? Yeah. There we go. We got
place.
it. We were here for like a minute. Mangas? Mangas cacas?
The mangas cucas? Which one is it? I always thought that was a made up word.
Yeah, dude, it sounds like one.
And it's a legit place because I remember from the movie, that was the first place I was ever introduced to that city. I thought it was a made up city. Dude, I moved to California.
Honestly, I did too.
And then they have Big Bear. So it's great because California has so many different weathers, right?
Yeah.
You got the sunny, beachy side. You got the sandy side. You've got the cold where Big Bear is. They got mountains. They got the snow. Like, it's beautiful up there, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
If you want a little bit of everything, bro, you know where to go.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Got everything.
San Francisco was awesome. I didn't spend too much time there. And then I spent like another 6 months in, like I said, down south. I visited San Diego. One place you don't want to get locked up there is in San Diego. They say that Oceanside police are the worst.
Yeah.
If you go to jail though, you ain't getting out. Is what they say. If you go to jail there Thursday, you're not getting out till Tuesday supposedly. I'm like, geez, that sucks.
That's terrible. That sounds terrible. So did you do Riverside and then you went? Sorry. No, that's fine. That's fine. You were at Riverside and then you did jiu-jitsu?
So I stayed with Riverside for a good 7-8 months. And they introduced me to like in-house tournaments with 10th Planet Oceanside, where the Boogie Brothers are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got PJ Barth there. You've got
that's right.
What's that one kid who hit the craziest Imanari roll? I can't remember.
Dude, I'm so bad with names.
He's a skinny, darker kid, bro. He's a legend. Marcus Castellanos. Just a great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid and a monster. I met all those monsters. You
got to train with them too?
Well, I had Kendall Ruzi with me. She was my main partner at Gracie Baja Riverside.
Yeah.
So she would introduce me to like
Isn't she the one that does the announcements now?
Yep. Now she's like a big commentator, right?
Yeah.
She introduced
announcements.
Me to
like I'm in school, bro. Isn't she the one that does the morning announcements?
So she already had a lineage of her own. She was like a whole wrestler, became into the gi, then a monster. She fought Gabby Garcia, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge woman, dog.
Yeah, that's like a couple ADC titles. Fucking tough one.
So she introduced me to Mackenzie Durd's dad. Oh
yeah, that's Megaton
Diaz.
Yeah.
I had no idea who I was talking to.
Really?
I was with Kendall, Tom, and AJ, and they like, hey, this is Megaton. Yeah. And I just shook his hand like I had no idea.
Hey, oh, hey, nice to meet you.
It was only till like 2 years later I realized what a legend this guy was.
Yeah, dude.
It was crazy.
To this day,
I did my first gi there, my first gi competition there, and that was fun.
I can imagine. How was it? How'd it go for you?
It was great. It was great. It was part of the most elite. What was it? Pans. And it's so elite. The lights are on you. You hear the music.
Oh, so you did a Pans in California? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's different. That's like you have all of California.
I went as a all of California there, basically, and I went
and other places.
As a white belt. Funny enough, the kid I fought had the same belt as me. I mean, not the same belt. Excuse me, the same gi as me. We had like this white Californian gi on the inside. I still have the gi, funny enough, at home.
Yeah.
And it says like SoCal. It was really cool. It was my first gi gifted to me from a friend from Rick Kocher.
Uh-huh.
He's a Marine. He bought me one because he saw I had a gi with a rip in it.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you a gi." I said, "What? Send me your address." I gave him an address. Maybe like a week or two later, I get a gi in.
That's awesome.
And inside the gi, you know how like they always had like designs on that back part of the gi? I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah.
remember on
Yeah,
the inside?
yeah.
That one had like the outline of the skyline of California.
That's pretty cool.
Yo, it was sick.
Yeah.
And it had like the sun.
Was it like a
rays.
white gi?
Yeah, it was a white gi.
That's pretty sick.
And it had like soul cow on the pants.
That's
I
pretty
was
cool.
so proud of it, and I still have it. It's
Yeah,
ripped.
you gotta keep that.
I
Though.
can't. Oh, I have it.
You
I
gotta
have
keep it.
everything. I have the first raps
Raps?
for MMA fight where I have my first raps.
Dude, you gotta keep those.
I have that.
I mean, that's
I have the
understandable
first
to have
shorts
that.
that I ever bought.
That's understandable to have those.
I have my first shorts, which are my takedown shorts that I ever bought. I still have those. I might even have the rash guard in that tote box that I ever bought.
That's
still
awesome.
have my first belt. Yeah, man.
I lost my first, but I don't know where the hell that
No, I
shit
still
is.
have my first belt. I have my first 4 white belt, 4 stripes. Then I have my blue belt. And it has 4 stripes, and maybe one day I'll get to the next level, man.
You'll get there.
Yeah,
you just keep training. It's you gotta forget about it at this point. You've already been doing it for so long.
Oh yeah,
you gotta
I'm not giving up, man.
It's just
so
part of
good
your
for
life
my
already.
life. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a freak for it, dude. And it's growing so much. How many people I've met in this game now, and it's grown so much since I transitioned from California back home.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there a reason
MMA.
behind that?
Yes, major reasons.
Like a fight reason to it?
No. Like you mean like an MMA fight? Or you mean
Like a
just
training?
personal?
No, I mean you could either way. I'm just curious. Was there an MMA reason? Did you do it
Mainly,
your personal life?
I didn't have the same resources as I did out there. I was by myself out there. I don't have any family.
Yeah, that makes
I don't
sense.
have nobody. I don't have.
Right.
I had one friend, Valerie, who we went to school with. Colon, Valerie Colon. Had it not been for her, I would have probably been asked out. Let me tell you that. It's crazy the way the world works.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I would have been asked out if it wasn't for her, because
you would have been like homeless.
Because I remember having to leave that girl's house because of a lot of issues, and I somehow I remember on post Valerie was making posts saying, "Who wants to move to California?" And so I remember answering to one of them. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go. Do you have a room available?" And she told me, "Yeah." So I shoot down. It's just good. It's conveniently good timing.
Yeah.
I shoot down and I stay there. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. That small thing is what
I don't think about it often because it's part of my past.
Right.
But when you sit and actually ponder and you're like, damn, imagine if I wasn't.
That's a small thing that you don't notice at the time.
Yeah. So I joined with Gracie Baja. We would shoot down to Oceanside and we'd do some cool ass no-gi in-house tournaments with Boogie and his people.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, the guy's name I remember, that the darks kid that hit those crazy Menards, was Marvin.
Okay.
Marvin Castellanos, I believe. Yeah. Marvin is his first name for sure. He's like the only guy. He was like the first guy that hit a crazy Imanari roll
during a match.
During a major match, like lights are on him and everything. It was like the craziest win. Yeah, I'll find it for you. I promise.
Yeah.
And so I remember just meeting all of them. Boogie was really interested in the way I had like a very interesting way of a style of jujitsu. I'm very bendable and very flexible, and I try to take my time and things like that.
Yeah, you do have a very like flexible style.
I can be creative. I try my best to be creative and not just one dimensional. I've definitely found the benefit in not being one dimensional. You have to be 2, 3D, 4D sometimes.
Yeah, you want to be like well rounded.
Absolutely. And so I earned my blue belt with him because I did a lot. I did pans, I did in-house tournaments, at Gracie Baja. So I was always trying my best to prove, that I'm worthy of being here. You know what I'm saying? I had that voice in me, man. I wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
And I think that's everybody though.
And you think that the martial arts community, like the jiu-jitsu community, is the community of jiu-jitsu is kind of like is part of why you like? Because it seems like you're mentioning a lot of your friends and a lot of people that you met, and it seems like that community is very important to you. Do you think that community is what kept you into martial arts and on that path?
The camaraderie?
Yeah, the camaraderie, right.
Yeah, especially now that I'm with Ground Game Theory.
Yeah.
I mean, even still, like, I just loved that brotherhood of being part of something great, you know, and pushing it together, working together.
Right.
I use that working together even in my full-time job. You know what I'm saying? That I'm grateful to be a part of now in this field. It's about working together. That's how you get through your day, man. The day can be tough.
Dude, that's so wild that, like, I know that you work for like an emergency vet, right?
Correct.
And you had a 13-hour shift.
Correct. And I wanted to
insane.
push through it and wake up at 11 a.m. for open mat,
Bro,
Carlos. I swear.
after you told me, oh, I just woke up from a 13-hour shift, I was like, well, I'm an asshole for that.
Nah,
Waking up so early.
I told her, set my alarm for 10:15.
Yeah.
I woke up at 10:15. I was tired.
How do you manage that? How do you manage that?
I don't know, man. I sometimes wake up. I normally work Thursday, Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah.
And I get off on Sunday mornings, 7 a.m. I get home around 8 a.m. And then I try to sleep 9, 10, 11, 15. I'm trying to or when I was doing my privates with Alex? No.
Which one?
Alex, yeah, Alex Salinas. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was doing my privates, so I would wake up at 10:30 and get to his private at 11 from that morning.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd be tired, brother. I'd be exhausted.
Bro.
But I've learned how to balance that little by little while I'm learning. I haven't learned 100%. But
So how you doing? What does your schedule look like during the week, like for
So,
trading and stuff?
Thursday, Friday, Saturdays.
Is there a different schedule for fight camp?
For sure, it has to be.
Can you kind of tell me the difference?
I don't really like. I don't bother my bosses about my work schedule. I just try my best to like implement my training into it because I don't do much. If
Right.
I'm not working, I'm training. If I'm not training, I'm fishing.
Yeah,
I'm not fishing.
you're
I'm
definitely fishing. I
sleeping.
can see that.
You get what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
trying to surround myself with good hobbies, stuff
Yeah.
that brings me serotonin. Is it or is it dopamine?
I think it's
Which is-
dopamine.
Which is the happy drug?
You know which
Dopamine.
one? Dopamine, I think.
I think it's dopamine. So I'm always chasing that happy drug through good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've got some vices, but they're not overbearing. They're not crazy. I'm not onto some crazy shit. You know,
Right.
everybody's got vices.
Yeah.
But the one vice I'm trying to do is like through fishing, training, and getting that happy drug of getting your hand lifted
Yeah.
and feeling like, yo, you're doing this. Because I know how easy it could have been for me to like mess up and become a failure
Yeah.
because of my background. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I know how easy
That's
it is.
but it's such a good story that, you know, that martial arts brought you into like a positive area and a positive lifestyle that you were able to kind of, you got to give yourself some credit when it comes to you noticing that and coming out of it. You know what I mean?
I'm in it for the ride, man. I don't want the credit. I do want to be able to tell my story at some for the other generation, if there is one.
Yeah.
That, you don't have to work a 9 to 5. You don't
Right.
have to sit at one job for the rest of your life, man. Like, that shit's tough, bro.
Yeah.
It eats away at you. It's like your own modern day slave, dog. You're making somebody else rich.
Yeah, that's true.
You should be making your mind rich. You know what I'm saying? Your body. And I feel like I've been lacking that lately a lot. It's because of life.
Yeah.
You know, I've been going to therapy.
Yeah.
For myself. And my therapist thinks I'm just taking on too much.
Dude, it sounds like you're taking on a lot. Like
at
you
the
have
same time, I feel like I'm not doing enough, Carlos.
How do you
That's
do
crazy.
it? Yeah, how do you deal with that?
I don't know. I'm just coasting,
I just
dude.
fight. I just train.
I just train. I try to fish, man. Just bring positive. I'm married to like a beautiful woman who supports me, man.
Which is important.
Yeah, right. You would know.
Yeah.
You would know, man.
That's important.
And
that's a very important.
For
like,
sure.
Having a good positive influence, like a partner in your life that kind of supports what you're doing. Because if you think about it, you were pursuing fighting in a cage. Not a lot of people are going to support that. You know what I mean?
I mean, my family doesn't.
They
don't. It's not even about that. They don't support it because they don't even like give me. Not that I look for it, but they don't call me to see how I'm doing after a fight. Nothing,
right.
And it's cool. But there's one person that's always there for me.
Yeah,
it's her.
That's what's important.
Yeah,
it's important.
Damn, sorry, I almost choked up there.
It's good, dude. It's good. It's good.
It feels good to say this to her. That's all.
No, don't worry about it.
She's a major support in my life, man.
That's important.
Where we at?
Sorry, I was talking about that. We were talking about the schedule. It's like how your schedule looks.
Yeah, so
camp and not camp.
I try not to fight my bosses on my schedule because I know they have their own issues.
So you don't fight. Like, how does your training schedule look with work?
So if I'm not working after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, I try to go to training in the morning. I do my 11 to 12, which is my conditioning or lifting, and then I go into jujitsu.
Yeah, I've seen that.
From 12 to like maybe 1:30, right?
I don't know how you can do the lifting and then go into the jiu-jitsu, especially the way that they have the classes now. Yeah, they're doing the ecological program. We're doing a lot of, I don't want to misexplain it, but we're doing like more live than actual drilling.
I love that, dude.
I love it too, bro.
That style of training is so new to me, dude.
Me too.
I've never been a part of that, and it's so effective.
Yeah, man.
You feel like I'm learning more than I would be if you're just telling it to me.
Dude, it's crazy because you also learn how to think when you're rolling.
That
like it changes the way that you think.
That must be all Carmichael, his system.
Yeah.
He's a freaking wizard, bro. He's our modern day like not Camelot. Who's that wizard who was just No. I'm saying like back in the ancient days. Who did they call wizards? I forgot. Well, whatever.
Wait, are we
Carmichael.
talking about real wizards? Or are we talking
Well-
about like wizards like from like a story?
Yeah, from stories.
Oh, Merlin?
Merlin.
I got
He's
you.
our Merlin.
He's
Dude.
our
He's
Merlin.
great.
We got our shirt says Merlin.
Brother, I'm telling you, man, and I think he's crawling. I mean, he's a black belt, but dude, he's got so much to tell the world.
Yeah.
He's got so much to offer, and I love his system.
Yeah.
He doesn't even just like, he doesn't tell you how it's done. He's like, I want to see how you do it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he lets you be creative, man.
I like that. I
love that. My other schools didn't do that.
No, mine
No,
neither.
you're doing it wrong, dude. You have to do it this way.
And it's also
I'm
doing that, like it creates kind of this, when at least with me, the way that I would think when I was in a role was like I have to do this to pass this to do that, and now it's just like I got to get to this point. How I get there, we'll figure it out, but I got to get there.
Yeah. And Carmichael allows you to do that on your own.
Right.
He almost lets you be yourself.
Yeah.
He doesn't just tell you there's only one way, dude.
Yeah.
And sometimes like you feel like there's only one way, but it's just because you haven't really tapped into it yet.
Right. You haven't thought outside the box.
Yes, brother.
It's
I'm
great.
telling you, and that's why I've been sticking to GGT lately, because I like his system. Sometimes I feel like these new people that I'm training with are princesses. So
I really hope you're not calling me a princess, dude.
No, you're pretty like a princess. but
Okay.
no, you're not.
Okay.
There are some
I'll take
people
that.
I feel like there are princesses, and it just kind of sucks, But I'm just trying to see outside of that and just stay focused and on the ball,
Yeah.
zoned in. When I get there, man, I just try to lock in.
Yeah,
I go
because
into
you lift and then you go
I
right
try to
into
lock in.
train.
Yeah, I try to lock in.
Dude, you gotta be exhausted after that.
I feel like shit. And that's why I take time to recover. Rest and recover is major part of my journey.
How do you rest and recover with the job that you have? You just told me you had a 13-hour shift of work.
I work 3 days. In those 3 days,
Oh, okay,
I try not to do anything MMA because I'm so worried about not worried. I'm thinking about my animals.
Yeah.
Dosaging, responding to emergencies correctly. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Like if you're thinking about fighting, like you're on defense mode, you shouldn't be thinking about fighting at work.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a balance of like
So
good
when
and
you're
evil.
off, you have to like really dive into training. Is what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I try not to do anything else. If I go to fishing, it's late at night.
Oh, you're fishing at night?
Oh yeah, that's when the big girls come out.
Oh, really?
That's what we want. We want big fish.
I don't know anything
to
about
let
fishing.
them-
This is interesting.
To let them go, respectfully, but you want to see what's out there, man. There's monsters out there, bro. And that's what we're looking for, man. We're looking for the big fish.
That's
And
pretty
see
cool.
Yeah. I like fishing, man. It's very relaxing. It
is relaxing.
calming. You have to focus on you, your rod, and what you have thrown in the water. I throw like artificials, so I'm constantly casting. And there's a technique to fishing. Same way there's technique to jujitsu, right?
Yeah.
There's technique to fighting. There's technique to life.
Right.
And I'm learning that there's technique to everything in this world.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just like do it as you want,
Right.
because then you're not gonna get the results you're looking for.
Right.
I'm constantly trying to grow in my field of work right now. So there's a system to that. And I have to be able to tap in and out of training, work style, and my lifestyle.
Yeah, man. It's gotta be tough to do all that stuff.
A little bit.
You know?
It can be a little overwhelming, which is probably what I've been going through with this like weird mental health. And I mean, I'm glad that we're able to talk about this.
Yeah,
this
man,
month,
go
now
ahead.
that we're like mental health, isn't
Right.
it? Aren't
Yeah,
we?
we're in June is men's mental health.
Yeah.
But this won't come out until I think July because we're ending. So either way,
Yeah, without a doubt. And
let's dive into that.
it's
Then. Let's
crazy
talk about
that
the topic.
that it's this month and I'm going through it.
Yeah,
I'm going through it. Yeah, man.
it's tough.
I cried over not having milk the other day.
Milk is important to
I'm
me.
gonna be vulnerable with you.
Milk
guys.
is important to me. Okay.
Can you focus that camera on me? Yeah, I'll be vulnerable with you guys right here. All right. I cried the other day because I had no milk in my protein shake, and I did not want to get up and go. And I was dressed for the gym, dude.
Yeah.
I was dressed. I was ready to go. Poured my milk. I realized there was no milk. Fuck.
What'd you do? You put water in it?
I dropped the fucking milk, and I was like, "There's no fucking milk."
Yeah, but that's probably accumulation of so many other things, dude.
Definitely. That's what my doctor
Yeah,
said.
bro.
I put my hands on the counter. I started crying.
Yeah.
I said, "This fucking sucks. Like
Yeah.
being a man is tough, man.
Yeah.
Being a male and having to be like strong and this sucks, man. This is tough."
Yeah.
But I got through it.
Yeah.
I went to bed. I laid down. I breathed, and my wife gave me the best hug ever.
There
She
you go.
said, "You're gonna be fine. You're
Yeah.
gonna be all right."
That's definitely accumulation. I'm sure you didn't cry because of the milk. It was the
Nah.
accumulation of stuff, dude.
Yeah, I've got a lot going on in life. It's more like work. I'm constantly worried about my patients.
Yeah.
I I'm worried about my team, my relationship with my team.
Right.
You know, we can sometimes get a little bit out of pocket.
Well, I
Not
mean,
like
it's a
not like
stressful
this.
situation, isn't it?
Yeah,
You guys are
very.
working.
It's
It's an
very
emergency room for it's a vet
very.
emergency room.
And I just want things to go right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The more successful stories I can have, the better. I don't
Right.
want to have to go to sleep knowing that like my last patient just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to know like, yo, he passed away for a second, but we got him back, which happened the other day.
That's dope.
That happened the other day.
You can sleep clear.
Dog had like heart issues, came in like struggling. Basically, he's like drowning.
Yeah.
And she passed for like maybe 2 minutes. And as I'm telling the parents, like, hey, like, do you guys want to put her to sleep to make it easier for her?
Right.
They told me, yeah. And I had to go back. She's alive. They popped her back up.
Yeah.
They got that heart pumping, and that's what we're there for.
That's awesome.
You know,
you have to go back and be like, she's awake now. You know.
Yeah, it was great. You know,
Yeah.
it is always a sad story. But
Yeah, dude. Of course.
I love those successful. Our field is tough, man. Our field is tough on our mental health. We're number 2 in suicide rate.
Really?
Well, the doctors are, yes, sir.
Wow.
The doctors are 2 behind dentists.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I didn't
Highest
know
in
that.
suicide rate, man. We have access to the drugs. If
Oh,
you look,
shit.
if you look, at the history of like veterinarians,
Yeah.
a lot of doctors just hold a lot on, and it's very like.
And it's because it's because
the
of
responsibility. I think it's the responsibility that they carry of knowing that the lives are in their hands. Sometimes the clients are difficult, man.
Oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, because you have to deal with the patient and then the client, which is somebody
Patient
completely
isn't even
different.
difficult, Carlos. The
Yeah.
patient is a patient. It's an animal. It doesn't know what it's doing. It's on
Right.
this earth. We're
Right.
on its earth living. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I try my best to advocate for the animals. Because at the end of the day, who else is going to talk for them?
Right.
Animals can't talk. They
Yeah.
can't. They have signs to show you that they're in pain.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I feel good when I know, like, hey, I spoke up for that animal.
Yeah.
I was able to like tell their animal, their
The owner.
owners. Sorry, your patient's in pain. Let's get some methadone on board.
Right.
Shaking, heavy panting, not wanting to move, and you see that a lot in like older animals. You know,
Yeah.
I go home and I feel so good that I was able to speak for an animal. So I'm trying my best to like feed myself that as much as possible for my mental health.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man. Of
constantly
course.
telling myself like, yo, you're doing a good job.
I think you're doing it. I mean, I think you're handling it pretty well because you're doing what you're doing, and then you're also training. You're doing therapy. You're doing everything that you need to do to really progress in the right directions. Which kind of leads me to my next question: is like, where do you want to go with MMA? What is it? How do you think you're gonna get there?
Good guidance, discipline,
Right.
confidence, having a good team with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really trying my best to get closer to the team that I'm with now. And it's mainly through working hard, showing that I want to help them.
Where are you training MMA out of?
Right now I'm with Alex.
Oh, cool.
Calianis.
Yeah,
At GGT. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
that's
go
great.
anywhere else. Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, he's been. How long has he been like building that program?
For like maybe a year, maybe. Less
Maybe a
than
year.
that.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
And I mean, we're on our way up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Ultimately, like, yeah, the team is gonna help me get there, and my drive, my motivation, and my discipline will help me get reach my goals.
What's the goal that you have right now?
I'd like to.
Do you break it down like short term, long term, or you just keep your eye on the prize in the long term?
Long term, I think it would be. I'm not really good at short term, man.
I get that.
But I know the fact that
I'm not great at that
I want to
either.
get in at least a few professional fights.
Yeah.
You know, I know I have the like, I have the willpower to knock somebody out, and I want to be able to show it.
Yeah.
I've done it in the gym, but that's not where I should be doing it.
Right.
I need to be doing it in the cages.
So sometimes what's missing you from getting into that pro arena?
Nothing. I just need to stop with the excuses and get it.
Let's get it, boy.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Just stop with the excuses of, not that I'm not good enough, just excuses. Get past that shit and let's go.
Let's do it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think you got it.
Yeah. Life is just crazy, man.
Dude, of course, bro. You have everything on your plate.
I've learned a lot of responsibilities. This is what's happened. I've gotten a lot of new responsibilities in my life, so I'm trying my best to like manage all of that.
It's probably better that you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not but in my opinion, it's probably better that you get like you know how to manage it, and then you clock it in the way you got to.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, I have 4 kids, so I just think about it like, how do I manage this? And once I get this done, I'll do what I got to do.
Right. Yeah. Little one thing at a time is
Right.
key. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Because you want to be able to do it well when you do get that opportunity, you do get to fight. You want to be able to do it well. You don't want to do it with everything with everything on top.
Yeah, for sure. I want to be able to perform well and look good,
Right?
cardio wise, like everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go in there and take another loss. I've been coming off of a few losses, and that's why, like, my next move, like, I want to be ready,
right,
and able to get in there and know that I'm.
That's probably why you're working so hard in the gym. When I see you in the gym, you're working hard as shit.
I mean, that's what we're there for.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be half-assing it.
Right.
You're at a gym to work and
Yeah,
sweat.
but you're also training. You're lifting like heavy, and you're going straight into like a hard class, which is totally, in my opinion, is a tough class because they include that wrestling in there too.
Well, I mean, that's the way they said that it should be established.
Yeah,
you train in first and then go into the gym.
Oh yeah.
So that's and that's coming from Team Soul, who I'm part of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're great.
Don't listen to me then.
What's his name? No, not that I wouldn't pop.
Yeah,
No, I get what you're saying, but what is Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
There's a few other good guys. Brandon's also great.
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah, he helps me like.
Doesn't he do the kids class too?
Yeah, he helps me with my posture. Like if I need something, dude, he's right there. He's like, yo, what do you need?
Yeah, I've seen him talk about like the stretching and how to like. I don't want to misquote, but I think it's like functional stretching.
Yeah, no, all of his advice is great.
And when I hear him talk about it,
whenever I'm talking to him, he has everything to educate you with. He
Yeah.
doesn't talk.
He's a young kid.
No, without a doubt, he's gonna go places.
Yeah,
like a lot of people that I've met in that facility of Team Soul and GGT.
Yeah, the combination of the two.
Yeah, man, they're. I'm very optimistic about the future for me and with them.
Yeah, that place is a place to be. I agree with you too. Like especially, like I don't know all the people that you know in Team Soul. Like the people that I do know, they're amazing people. They're very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know the grappling element that you have, and at least the grappling, the coaching that you have in GGT is high.
Yeah, no, it's I enjoy the camaraderie. I don't feel like I'm around like
posers.
Not just that, but like those masculine men who just want to toss you the fuck around, and it's like like everybody's got technique. Daimo, Mauro, Lyle.
Dude, I was getting nuts.
Does he have like an NFL background or something like that?
Dude, we had him on, and he was like pretty high level in college. I don't remember the stats right now, but when I was like reading up for his episode, I think it was like second in the college that he was in rushing yards.
The guy's built like one, bro.
Dude, and he played in Canada.
He's got so much to offer, man. That guy has so much knowledge.
And the impressive thing is that he wasn't, for his size, he was small for the position that he played. He was small for the position that he played, and he did amazing.
You know who gives me a lot of hope? Mauro.
Dude, Mauro.
Because like I'm his size, maybe smaller.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, if he can do it, I can do this. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
yo, the kid's a fucking whiz too.
Dude, he's been doing this since he was a kid.
Badass.
He's been doing this since he was a kid. But like the funny thing with grappling with him is that he has always like this stone face.
Oh, all day.
You don't know
he doesn't have any emotion. He doesn't have any emotion. He's a poker face.
Yeah,
all day. He's a poker face.
Yeah.
Daimo's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Daimo's one of my favorite training partners. Believe it or not, every time I go with him, dude, it's like if I keep up with him, I know I'm doing good.
Yeah, you feel all right.
Yeah. If he's whooping my ass, I'm like, I need to come back to the gym.
I gotta come back.
I need to come back. I need to reevaluate things.
Yeah,
because he won't. He's relentless. He won't. He don't play.
Yeah.
Carmichael's just a freak.
No,
he grabs you and it's like, God damn it.
The worst thing about rolling with him is that automatically, like he'll put you in, at least with my experience, is that he'll put you in positions that you know that he's testing.
It's horrible, man.
And he's like, dude, fucking.
Have you seen his duck unders?
Dude,
they're so sick, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I love the guys that I'm with. I really hope we could grow and become a great team together. I haven't really showed them much. I'm really trying to get into like tournaments with them, ADCC coming up and other things. I just want to show them that like, yo, I'm here to work with you guys. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that they're aware of it. I think you're doing a great job over there, and you have your career in place. Listen, man, we're closing up. Is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about, or anything you want to promote?
Let's give a few shout outs to like Keanu.
Give him all out.
He's one of our teachers out there. I don't think I mentioned him enough. He's also another wizard. Him and Carmichael work obviously in symbiosis to be the best teachers ever.
Yeah.
My wife, Nicole Michael Lopez. Guys, check out Nicole. What is it? Nicole Grace Photography on Instagram. If you need family pictures and school pictures, that's your woman to go to.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Carlos and Roll Science.
No, dude, it's a
This
pleasure.
has been an opportunity I've always wanted.
Do you, when you're leading up to a fight, let us know.
Oh,
Or after the fight, before,
we're
whatever you
gonna
want to
be
do.
there.
And let me know. We'll bring you back on.
This will be awesome. Yeah, for sure. Check out my Instagram, Little Man Jitsu Mike.
Does it say Mike in
yeah.
it, or does it say Little Man Jitsu?
Damn, I think it does say Little Man
I
Jitsu.
think it's Little Man
But my
Jitsu.
name is Mike, so
Yeah. All
Little
right,
Man
man.
Jitsu. But thanks, man. Thanks for having me on, bud.
No, this is great.
Yeah, it
It was a great conversation. Thank you, man.
awesome.